Last time on Ozarks Trackers.
It's spring, and I love this time of year, except for the visitors. The Ozarks is stocked with all kinds of paranormal activity. There's warped space in the forest. There's two-headed chickens and cats and dogs playing with each other. Sometimes you'll see the visitors watching in the forest.
Take all my stuff to Alaska, you know. I've been to Colorado already. Never been to Alaska.
Haven't either.
Always wanted to go. There's a place called Homer, Alaska.
Homer?
Huh?
Homer, Alaska?
Yeah. So, you've had the halibut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they get halibut from. The biggest frickin' fish you ever did see in your life. Alaska, huh?
What's shaking? Hey! Father Time! Hey! Wait! Don't be afraid. Alright. Look, I'm a filmmaker. My name's Rick Kepple. I just like your films. Thank you for taking the time to do this interview, sir. I wasn't sure if you've got my message from Lucky. I've never done an interview before. Could you tell us about your life? Well, as you know, I'm 51 years old, and soon I'll be 100 years old by New Year's Eve. And yeah, it's a drag. Are you literally reborn on January 1st? Every year? Yeah, literally born on January 1st. That's right, every single year. And how long has this been going on? Since I began. You mean since time, meaning you, began, just to clarify for our viewers. Yes, that's correct. Do you have a wife and kids? I've never really had the time, but I've dated a lot. Anyone famous? Oh yes. Let's see, there's Stevie Nicks, Betty White, Miley Cyrus, Audrey Hepburn, Marilyn Monroe. Oh, and I had an affair with Queen Elizabeth, and there were a few French queens. It really kind of ticked off Napoleon. He went on a tirade for a long time, and his old lady got all obsessed and delusional. How delusional? How delusional? Well, she told the French to eat cake, and we all know how that turned out. No kidding. No way. Huh. So now you live in Missouri? Only from about the end of February to about October, and then I snowbird it to Arizona and die and get reborn. So literally, for you, life is short. Yeah and no. I mean, I used to get the same boats on the lake that I've always had. I've had the same house. I've had the same everything. That's crazy. So, do you have a mother and father? Yep, the moon and the sun, if you believe that stuff. You don't believe that your parents are the moon and the sun. Not anymore, but it makes sense, I guess. It almost sounds like you've started to doubt yourself. Yes, I'm worrying on myself. You mean to say that time is making you weary? Yeah, pardon the pun, but it gets old, you know. Moving on. Did you invent the concept of daylight savings? Yeah, the government says I made a mistake. Did you make a mistake? Time makes no mistakes. Did you invent the calendars? Only the Gregorian calendar. It's the most accurate. What do you think of the 5-day work week? It should be a 4-day work week. Then people would have more me to go around on the weekends. And I thought I liked to make time jokes. Yeah, well, after an eternity, I learned to laugh at myself. So talking about time jokes. Can you really fly Oh boy. No. Time can't actually fly. Why does it seem like time goes faster occasionally? Sometimes I run out of cigarettes. Sorry. Father Time smokes tobacco. I prefer weed. You know, you can get time for that. Oh God, how I live for time jokes. Yeah, I know it's illegal. So have you ever been busted for weed? Yeah, once I got life. Life? Yeah, I only lived for 1 year, dude. Where was that? Kansas. You'll see it in that political movie, The Wizard of Oz. Kansas? The Wizard of Oz? I'll have to watch that. There's always time for me. So what do you think of overtime? It's better than undertime. Have you ever met any time travelers? Time travelers. Ah, yes. There was Mark Twain, Elvis, Amelia Earhart, Sacagawea. Crazy Horse is still around, and he had a band for a while. So what's your favorite movie? Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Why is Fast Times at Ridgemont High your favorite movie? Sean Penn's line, "Dudes on lewds should not drive." Right, that's my favorite line too. Did you ever try depressants? Yes, every now and then. Any side effects? Did you see the last eclipse? Do you drink alcohol? Alcohol? Yes, I have drank. So you got drunk? Yes, I've gotten drunk a couple of times, yeah. And what happened with that? World War I and World War II. So you don't drink anymore? Not if you want to live. So what's marijuana do to you? Marijuana mellows me out. The Carter years? And Reagan too. And what happened with Nixon? Well, there was Woodstock, and for a few years, I just can't remember. So why during the Carter and Reagan years? I don't know. Fleetwood Mac, maybe Stevie Nicks, but it could have been any number of those great bands back then. So what is your favorite period of musical history? My favorite period of musical history would have to be the Baroque era. Why the Baroque era? The music resembles the music of today. There were live parties back then. And I got laid a lot back then. You know what I mean? Hey? What food does Father Time like to eat? Italian food with lots of thyme. Time, of course. Should have known. Are you a Second Amendment kind of guy? Yeah, I'm a Second Amendment kind of guy. I travel faster when people are armed. People in wars make me depressed. Right. So with gun owners, time doesn't drag on, you're saying. Quite so. I hate dragging my feet. Favorite magazine? Favorite magazine would be Time. What about Christmas? Christmas. I love Christmas for my lovely Arizona hospital bed, but thank you very much for bringing that up. So at the stroke of midnight, yes, dead. And you just show up with the rest of the kids at dawn on New Year's morning? Yes, pretty much. And who raises you? There's a secret group that's existed for centuries. And they are starseeds. And you're raised in Arizona until about the end of February. So then you go to Missouri to a home you've had for how long? How long have I been coming to Missouri? Daniel Boone used to visit. Does that give you a clue? Really? Do you fish? All to me. Time joke. I've got 1,000,000 of them. Do you have any advice for Missouri and Arizona? Do I have any advice for Missouri and Arizona? Yes. The timeline does not look good. And why is that? It's just me. That's why. You mean it's time? Out of me. Not getting any younger. One last question. Real quick. Is time predestined? Seriously? I die at midnight on December 31st. You're a Democrat, aren't you? Next time on Ozarks Trackers.
Okay. This used to be a chicken house and greenhouse, but now it's just a greenhouse. It's not too bad of a little greenhouse. My late wife would have liked it. Alright, today we're going to plant some seeds.
One, two, 1,